Greetings from the UNICEF office in Athens. It's a great pleasure and honor to be with you through this recorded video, and I would like to thank very much Rector Professor Christos Bouras for giving UNICEF this opportunity. This is not a coincidence, because the first Child Rights Center in Greece was established at the University of Patras. And since that time, we have been experiencing an excellent partnership with the University of Patras under the leadership and support of Rector Bouras. Also, after the University of Patras, we established, together with the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, a Child Rights Center, then with Demokritio University, and after that with the National and Kapodistrian University of Athens, and the fifth university that established a Child Rights Center was the University of Crete. We are hoping to have Child Rights Centers in all the universities of Greece, because Child Rights Centers are a great vehicle and a great mechanism to promote child rights in the society, but also to support the evidence-based knowledge generation on child rights. And this is how universities spread the knowledge beyond the fences and beyond the walls of the university. And this is how universities play also a societal role in social development, because there is nothing better than investing properly in children to achieve the sustainable development goals. Yes, universities globally contribute a lot to the society by providing knowledge, skill, competences to the university students. But also, another strategy is to start supporting the students since their childhood. So when they reach the university, they would be much better prepared for that new phase of life. And this is what the Child Rights Centers provide: an opportunity for the universities to link up to schools and to work with schools, especially on important issues like reducing and eliminating violence against children, but also on other issues related to supporting early childhood development, and to make sure that quality early childhood development is implemented in all the preschool education institutions. But also linking up to municipalities, because municipalities provide social services to children and others. And when the social work departments, for instance, link up to the municipality through the Child Rights Center, then we make sure that the knowledge, the great knowledge of the social work professors associated with the capacities and mandate of the municipalities, and also in cooperation and coordination with the social work associations, this combination would definitely bring stronger child protection services in the society, which is very much needed. And this is one of the objectives of UNICEF, through convening the universities with the social work associations and the municipalities, to make sure that the theory meets very well the practice, and services on the ground are much better to children, young people, and their families. Another function of the Child Rights Centers is the teaching of child rights. So first is the incorporation of child rights in the university curricula. And this is what we have started discussing with the 5 universities where Child Rights Centers have been established, under support from the rectors, vice rectors, the deans, the faculty members, and the coordinators of the Child Rights Centers. Once child rights as a course, as a discipline is taught at the universities, we make sure that professionals, when graduating, they have a solid culture of child rights. Because otherwise, how come a social worker would really work towards achieving the best interest of the child if the social worker does not understand very well what child rights are and how we can implement them in the society? How come a judge would make decisions, would issue decisions based on child rights and upholding children's rights if the judge never studies child rights, the convention, the UN Convention on Child Rights, and the 4 general principles of child rights and all the provisions covered by the convention? How come a lawyer would defend properly from a rights-based perspective a child, a juvenile, if the lawyer is not child rights oriented? And this applies on every single profession. Of course, needless to say, that educators especially should have a very solid and understanding of child rights, so every educator becomes a child rights oriented educator. And for that, school management should be supportive as well. So members of school management should also be trained on child rights. And this is the great role of the child rights centers when connecting to the schools, to make sure that there's a school-based training on child rights. There's a stronger culture in the school on child rights. And this is the best way, the best strategy to eliminate bullying, to avoid discrimination, and to have a more inclusive education in schools and in the society in general. So that's why the child rights centers at universities play a crucial role for social development, but also they play a very important role for social development in general, and also to make sure that sound democratic practices are applied by children and also by young people and adults. The democratic society is founded on the child rights principles, especially the modern concept of democracy, which goes to resolution of conflicts in a nonviolent way, acceptance of others, respect for the views of others even when we have different views, and living peacefully together. This is the best version of democracy, which is definitely well established, should be well established during childhood. Because when children learn these values in the family, at school, in the community, they travel with these values throughout, and they apply them on themselves and in their relations with others. So they become more respectful and democratic managers. They become officials who spread these values and who make sure that quality education also embrace these values. So having this partnership between UNICEF and universities in Greece is extremely important. It is important to reduce violence against children in general, and violence in sports, and domestic violence, and violence everywhere. And at the same time, it is important to make sure that education aims all the time at achieving the development of the personality of the child. And this is what the Convention on the Rights of the Child stipulates in its Article 29. So embracing interactive education, full respect for the students and the teacher, understanding that she or he is not the only source of knowledge, especially nowadays with internet, with artificial intelligence, and understanding that learning should be a beautiful journey, an enjoyable journey between the teachers and the students, fully supported by school management. This is what we call a child rights-based education. So I would like to thank the 5 rectors where child rights centers have been established on behalf of UNICEF, because their support has been instrumental, and I would like to invite all other rectors to also support and encourage the establishment of child rights centers, an initiative which has been supported by the Minister of Education, Religious Affairs and Sports, and an initiative which has already shown that there is a lot of room for cooperation and a lot of also areas to explore together. So to wrap up, I would say first, promotion of child rights in the society, but especially at schools and with municipalities. Second, research on children, evidence-based generation on children. And third, teaching child rights at different faculties. These are the 3 key pillars and functions of the child rights centers through which the UNICEF partnership with academia in Greece will be hopefully developing further with your support. And from all of us in UNICEF in Greece, we would like to thank you and to send you our best wishes for a very successful meeting at the University of Patras. Ευχαριστώ.